Welcome to the Financial Battle Helps. Hey, I want to give you some information today. There is some changes. We've been hearing about that for months, which is the pattern day trading rule that has changed. This is a good thing as far as allocation of funds that can be used. Most of you can go out and see a video, but I want to give you the truth about what this really means. It's important. You'll hear many statements, as I have been in business for a long time, about what the pattern day trading rule means to you, but I want to give you the inside information of what's happening and why it's taking place. Owning many businesses, it's important when you sit down in a business meeting that you get away from the sizzle, the sales, what they're trying to do, and you end up looking at it or asking the question, why is this happening? That creates insight for understanding as you move forward. So from the beginning of time, they are well aware, meaning the brokers and the market makers, that 95% of people fail when they trade. So there was a term that was created, whether or not you're using AMP or other we'll call second level brokers out of there. They were introduction brokers. So they were able to find new people to come in and trade. Originally, a long time ago, they would have some minimums where they would try to create as much revenue as possible, knowing that that revenue would be lost. So they might say you need to have $15,000 to start trading. It'd be more than that, but obviously that pattern day trader rule came up. But just to stick with what I'm talking about, as those people started to fail on that initial investment in order to trade, whether or not it was stocks, futures, or anything else with options, they moved that down. Then it went to 10,000, then it went to 5,000, and again they burned through the people, because this is what's important. 95% of people are going to fail trading, and they know that. So they need to find new people. We watched this happen years ago too, when we went from regular minis. Originally, when you traded and you were on the floor, if you wanted to trade the S&P, it was $25,000 for one contract. Then they switched that down so that you could get into that contract, and they had a minimum that you were able to trade on, which then turned into $50 per point out of there, or you could have a minimum of $500 in order to trade that. So again, they keep lowering the standard. Then they moved from minis to micros. So now you can trade, but they need new people in there, and they got to attract the people because the people don't have as much money as before. So now if you wanted to trade, it's $5 for ES or $2. And obviously they've moved that over into gold and oil and everything else. The reason why, again, is to attract new people to lose money. 95% of them are going to lose. Why am I bringing this up? Because they're doing the same deal with the pattern day trading. So again, initial balance, $25,000 to trade more than 3 times in a week. If you were in and out, as you can see the examples that are out there, every day you could only do that 3 out of 5 days. So that was a pattern that you had. They used it to protect people, which was good. But again, now the big boys who want to make money have said, we need to change this. We don't have new people coming in. We can't sustain what we're doing for making the type of money that we are. So let's lower the standards to get some other people to come in. And now it's $2,000 as a minimum, but you're still sitting at that 95% losing rate. A lot of information here as always, but very important. Your mind has to be right. Again, don't get into the sizzle. Ask the question, what's happening here? If somebody had a plan, which we provide, a trading strategy plan that they could use, there's 3 of them that we have. 1, we have a transition strategy. 2, we have a momentum strategy, and 3, we have an imbalance strategy. If those strategies have a good win rate, it doesn't matter whether or not you have $25,000 a minimum standard to trade on or anything else. You don't buy into, hey, I need to keep trading here. Allow me to trade. I can only trade 3 times in a week because I have less than $25,000 in my account. Now it's $2,000. They're buying into your emotional aspects and motivation that you want to keep trading. But if you're losing, you're just going to lose your money again. So the truth of the matter is that they are looking for more individuals to come in to introduce, because they know that the majority of them are going to lose. It's not about the amount of money that you have in. It's about whether or not you have a winning edge, a winning plan, a probabilities. Here at Battle of the Financial Markets, we really focus on the numbers and probabilities. You can see that by our streams that we go through. Generally, we're looking at about 80% win ratio. Now, that can change a little bit on what you're doing based upon how much you're going to take out of the market, if you're going to be scalping. But the bottom line is that we are taking the same philosophy as playing blackjack. MIT, a college, obviously, of kids, went there and said, how do we beat the casino? Let's create an edge. And so they used the numbers and started counting cards. The difference here is that when you trade, which we trade futures, that you do not have to play every opportunity that's there by putting your ante in under your bet. If you don't have to do it and can wait for your edge and play what we call 18, 19, or 20s based upon our three strategies, if you were sitting at a blackjack table and only played 18, 19, or 20s, you'd have an 87% win ratio. Can you stick to it? Can you play it? Can you not get enticed by the lights? That's what they're doing. They're changing the lights. They're bringing a drink to the table. Now you don't need 25,000. Now you need 2,000. You're buying into the sizzle they're selling you. Make a bunch of money, become a millionaire. Besides, how do we actually keep our money? How do we preserve what we have? Are we successful? If we are, we need a strategy to start with. Once you have a strategy, then there's some rules that you need to follow, but you need to make sure that you have something that is playing an edge that wins the majority of the time. We say often, you can have a 19 sitting at that table and the dealer can get 20 and you will lose. Nothing is 100%, but you need to have an edge. I hope you get this across. This gets across to you. This is what's important, your mental state and thinking about things correctly. Am I winning? Do I have a good system or am I just bouncing around? Come to our website, our YouTube website, and see what we have over there with the three strategies that we use. And if they fit for you, that's great. We're willing to help out. We are playing a game here. This is not financial advice. We're using prop firms. That would be another example. So they need people to come in and trade, even though it's not what the brokers are there, but they'll start coming into that business here too as well. And so people that don't have the funds, they opened up a market for them that they can act as if they're trading, and that's what prop firms are on simulation. So we are playing World War III once again. We've set all this up to fit with everybody. If you're going to play a game, let's play it. Try to make $400 a day in the game of your simulated money. If you were doing that, you would be making $100,000 a year. You would be going through the process of following the probabilities correctly from a mental perspective, having your mindset correct. As you were doing that and following it through, then at that point, if you have a system that is working, you should be able to scale it. I don't know how many folks that I see out there that are still sitting on trading one or two contracts. If they have a successful system, why aren't they at 10, 20, 30? You can get out of the markets with that, no problem. So that is a little grain of salt for you of what the truth is about the pattern day trading that is taking place and why they're changing it. Don't focus on that. Focus on, do I have a winning system? So there's a short little overview of the truth about the pattern day trading and how they've changed that. It is good. It'll allow people to come in, but they will obviously lose, the majority of them, 95%, if they don't have a winning strategy. So that's your information, your tip today, an overview, looking at it differently. Let's get your mind set correctly. My name is Bart, once again, overseeing this YouTube channel. We have a daily live presentation Central Time from 8:15 until about 10:30. Look into our playlist. That playlist will show you the strategies that we're using. If you have some questions, please ask. And thanks for listening. Please like and subscribe. And then the beat.